We the best music. Major key. DJ Khaled.
Hey y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. I want to say hey to everybody. This is our very first episode from The Love Seat. My name is Kimberly Michelle. I am your host. I am the one who will be answering all your Q&A. I'd like to say first of all, thank you everyone who has sent in their questions to me to Kimberly82@hotmail.com with the title of Dear Kim. So I really appreciate that. Let me give you a little background here. I am the author of the book, Dating in the Age of Narcissism, a single woman survival guide. Now I've been doing vendor events like all around Houston, and what I noticed the most is that when I sell a book, people just don't wait there and buy the book and leave. They stay and they wait for me to answer questions. They want to know my opinion on things. I have men and women who line up and they kind of wait in line for me to answer these questions, almost like a therapist. So I thought that I would take questions. And not only that, my girlfriends call me. My homeboys call me. And y'all don't ever get off of my phone. So I said that I would take questions, I would scramble them up in a bowl, and I would answer them. So that's what I'm going to do today. And I hope that on the next series that y'all send me some questions in so I can answer them for you too. And remember, your questions will always remain anonymous. I'm not that kind of person. I will never reveal your name. So best believe that I will try to answer these questions unbiasedly and with anonymity always as my number one focus, okay? So I'm going to stir my little bowl up here. You see what I got? Hey! Alright, so I'm going to assume that this came from a man. I mean, it's pretty obvious once I start reading this question. It says, why do some women leave everything on the man to do in a relationship? Okay, now, a woman should never leave anything and everything to a man. A grown woman knows that you can't leave anything and everything to a man. A woman is in charge of the household. A grown woman makes the man look like he is in charge of the household. But once you've been married for years, you know that it is the woman who makes the man look good. And so you would never leave everything to a man. And furthermore, you need to know your position as a woman. And men, if you have a woman that you're in a relationship with and she leaves all the dates to you, she leaves everything to you, then have a conversation with her. Talk about it. Talk about it. This is your life here. If you are with someone who isn't providing what you need them to provide for you, move on. It's as simple as that. Have the conversation. Hey, baby, I'm not feeling what you're doing. I've been asking you to provide these certain services for me. I'm not feeling where we're going anymore. And I can't continue to do this relationship with you. It's going to hurt. It's going to be hard, but you need to move on because there's somebody out there for you that is going to be in a reciprocation type of mode that is going to give you back exactly what you're dishing out. In a relationship, it is two people providing each other with what the other person needs. So it is a 50-50 thing for sure and all the way. So I'm going to bottle that question up. I'm done with that question. Thank you so much for sending that in, person. Let's move on. I'm going to scramble it up a little bit. Whew. What does it mean when some people commit suicide after a breakup? This is a very sad thing, and I hate to answer these types of questions, but I will answer them. And I do appreciate you sending that in to me. What makes people commit suicide ever? First of all, it's not about the relationship that has made this person commit suicide. Think about what suicide is for a minute. It means that you have taken your own life. It means that that other person has taken their own life. They had no will to live. if it was a relationship that spurred them to commit suicide, believe me, it started a lot longer before you came along. You are not to blame if your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend has committed suicide after a breakup. It had nothing to do with you. They were already deeply troubled. There was already something there psychologically that you could not heal. And don't ever think that your love wasn't good enough to make them want to remain on this earth. It had nothing to do with you. They felt this way before they even got into a relationship with you. Don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself. That's what I don't want you to do. Suicide has nothing to do with the relationship or whatever choice, whatever you might have said something, saying something, cheating on them, making the wrong decision one day, something set them off, you all got into a fight, you said the wrong thing, whatever. These are not things. These are not the things that you need to be bogging yourself down with. If someone commits suicide, believe me, that's something that you have nothing to do with. They didn't love themselves enough. And we all have to learn that regardless of who comes into our lives, we have to love ourselves first. You were born by yourself and you will die by yourself. You're not going to die with your husband holding hands. You ain't going to die with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your wife. You're going to go by yourself. So always learn to live and love yourself first before you love anyone else. So that had nothing to do with you. And thank you so much for tuning in. I always like to end with a quote. I love Oprah. If anybody has looked into the old magazines, she always has these really awesome quotes that kind of look cardstocky here. Looks like I have a hand of playing cards here, but they're quotes. They're inspirational quotes, and I hope they help you out. This one I will read to you. It says, "No person trying to take responsibility for her or his identity should have to be so alone. There must be those among whom we can sit down and weep and still be counted as warriors." And that is said by Adrian Rich from Sources. So you're not alone. None of us are. But learn to love yourself first before you love anyone else. And I am Kimberly Michelle, and make sure that you get my book. It can be found on KimberlyKimberly.com, Amazon, and Barnes & Noble. See you next time.
Can't understand how I last so long. I must have the superpowers. Last 223,000 hours, and it's 'cause I'm off of CC.